Your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Please stop. I'm so excited for this, and I know you are too. Use Super Cap today and be happy. Bye. What if I told you there's a cab service you can book right now in Jalingo? Sounds like a dream, right? No, it's reality. Let Supercab get you transported to anywhere you want to go in Jalingo, and let them also run your errands for you while you sit at the comfort of your home. And guess what? It is affordable, reliable and fast. They run a 24-hour service. You can click the link attached to this video to download the app, or you can also download the app on Play Store. I'm so excited for this, and I know you are too. Use Supercab today and
Welcome to the broadcast of businesses from Sumtv. I am Abraham Manager with the news info. 50% tariff hike to unlock over $150 million in mobile network. A 50% increase in mobile tariffs in Nigeria could unlock more than $150 million in additional investment and expand 4G network coverage to 94% of the population. The Global System for Mobile Communications Association (GSMA) said in a press statement on Wednesday. The GSMA welcomed the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC's) decision to approve the first mobile tariff adjustment in 12 years, describing it as a step towards strengthening network infrastructure and improving digital inclusion across the country. According to the statement, the tariff increase is expected to extend mobile internet access to an additional 9 million people, including 2 million individuals in underserved areas. The statement read, the tariff increase is projected to unlock over $150 million in additional investment, expanding coverage from the baseline 90% to 94% of the population. This improvement will benefit around 9 million people, with nearly 2 million expected to gain access to mobile internet services based on current adoption levels in rural areas, according to GSMA intelligence. Economic growth and job creation. The GSMA projected that increased investment in mobile infrastructure alongside greater digitalization in sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, transport, trade, and government could boost Nigeria's gross domestic production by 2 percentage points by 2028. The organization also estimated that improved digital access could create nearly 2 million jobs and generate an additional 1.6 trillion naira in tax revenue for the government. The expanded network infrastructure is expected to support emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things, enabling advancement in areas such as precision agriculture, connected transport, and telemedicine. Angela Wamola, GSMA head of Sub-Saharan Africa, said the move was crucial for enhancing service quality and driving economic growth, but she emphasized the need for further policy reforms to sustain long-term benefits. She was quoted in the statement saying, "This decision by the NCC is an important milestone for Nigeria's digital future. By enabling sustainable investment, we are improving the quality of service for consumers and fostering opportunities for innovation and economic growth." However, to fully unlock the potential of this reform, it is critical to implement additional measures such as simplifying right-of-way permits, implementing of a critical national infrastructure plan, and reducing the mobile sector's tax burden. This step will be essential to accelerate digital adoption across sectors. It is estimated that increased digitalization in agriculture, manufacturing, transport, trade, and government will increase GDP by around 2% points in 2028. BDCs explain why Naira will be strong in 2025. Bureau de change operators in Nigeria have expressed optimism about the Naira's prospects in 2025, forecasting a stronger currency buoyed by anticipated reforms in the country's foreign exchange markets. They said this reform could improve currency stability, boost investors' confidence, and enhance the efficiency of forex trading. However, the operators have raised concern over the Central Bank of Nigeria's 2 billion naira recapitalization policy, which they argue could negatively impact their operations and the overall stability of the forex market. They call for a comprehensive review of the policy, citing its potential to force smaller operators out of business and concentrate market control in the hands of a few. The CBN had in May 2024 introduced the recapitalization policy, mandating Tier 1 BDC operators to increase their minimum capital requirements to 2 billion naira, while Tier 2 operators were required to meet a threshold of 500 million naira. This move, the CBN said, was aimed at strengthening the financial health of the sector, curbing illegal forex trading and aligning the industry with international best practices. Several BDC operators who spoke to Nairametrics shared their experiences and highlighted the policy's impact on their businesses. Many noted that while they support the CBN's effort to sanitize the sector, the steep capital requirement poses significant challenges, especially for small-scale operators. One operator explained the new policy is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it could foster a more resilient sector, but on the other, it threatens to marginalize smaller players who play a crucial role in providing forex access at the grassroots level. Speaking exclusively to Nairametrics, the president of the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, AFCON, Aminu Gwadebe, said, "With the fundamentals on the ground now in terms of policy reforms, investors' confidence, awareness, and support, streamlining of diaspora remittances, investments in oil outputs. So a combination of those factors will ensure a continuously stronger Naira in 2025. If regulators sustain the momentum, I believe we will say bye-bye to Naira volatility." Another operator, Nasir in Zone 4 Abuja, said 2025, inshallah, will be good for the Naira if we maintain current momentum. However, some of our members are at risk of being thrown out of business, good scenting CBN policies. Our banks are circumspect in implementing CBN's directive. Gwadebe also commented on the Central Bank of Nigeria $25,000 weekly forex purchase limit for Bureau de change operators, which was introduced on December 2024, is set to end in January 2025. According to him, the policy has faced significant challenges in implementation due to hesitation from commercial banks. From inception, it came with several challenges. The banks are circumspect in implementing the directives of the central bank, and that has affected the takeoff. As it is coming to an end, I am sure any Bureau de change operator has access to that window for now. What I will say, a call for an extension of the policy to improve efficiency and ensure stability in the forex market. It will be good if the CBN revisits or extends the 30th or 31st deadline for the purchase window. There's a need for the injection of liquidity into the retail end of the forex market, because that is where volatility usually comes from. It is good to check inflation and Naira volatility. They are two sides of the same coin. You have to deal with them simultaneously. You cannot hold one and leave the others to market forces, he added. Federal government seeks 15 billion investment to revive power sector. The federal government has announced an ambitious plan to revamp the country's struggling power sector, targeting $15 billion in private investment to build a $23 billion funding gap, according to Bloomberg. The initiative revealed at the ongoing World Bank Energy Summit in Tanzania aims to tackle the country's electricity crisis and provide power to 86 million Nigerians currently living without access to electricity. As part of the plan, households will receive a subsidized 50 kilowatt hours of electricity monthly, either through direct consumption or vouchers. We now go for a short break, and when we come back, Business Daily continues.
Be happy. Bye. What if I told you there's a cab service you can book right now in Jalingo? Sounds like a dream, right? No, it's reality. Let Supercab get you transported to anywhere you want to go in Jalingo, and let them also run your errands for you while you sit at the comfort of your home. And guess what? It is affordable, reliable and fast. They run a 24-hour service. You can click the link attached to this video to download the app, or you can also download the app on Play Store. I'm so excited for this, and I know you are too. Use Supercab today and be happy. Bye. What if I told you there's a cab?
Welcome back to Business Daily on Sumtv. Tinubu pledges 50% renewable energy mix to achieve universal energy access by 2030. Tinubu says Nigeria grid battery energy storage system to receive AFDB's 500 million facility. This subsidy is a critical component of the government's broader strategy to make electricity more accessible and affordable for millions of Nigerians. Despite being Africa's most populous nation, with abundant natural gas reserves, significant hydro potential, and plentiful sunlight, Nigeria has only 13,000 megawatts of installed generation capacity. This low output has resulted in frequent blackouts and reliance on private generators, creating economic strain for those who can afford them. For comparison, South Africa, with a population roughly one-third the size of Nigeria, boasts a generation capacity of about 52,000 megawatts. As part of its reform agenda, Nigeria aims to increase the share of renewable energy in its generation mix from 22% to 50% over the next 5 years. Additionally, the plan seeks to move to more than double the number of households connected to the national grid annually. By 2027, the country will implement a cost-reflective tariff system that aligns electricity prices with the actual cost of production. However, a buffer mechanism will be introduced to protect vulnerable households from the full impact of higher tariffs. Subsidy reforms and spending challenges. Despite removing electricity subsidies for around 50% of urban households last year, resulting in the tripling of tariffs, the government will still spend an estimated 2.2 trillion naira on electricity subsidies. The new plan aims to balance the need for cost recovery with targeted subsidies for the most vulnerable Nigerians. The provision of 50 kilowatts of subsidized electricity per month is a notable element of this strategy, designed to ensure that even the poorest households have access to basic electricity. The proposed reform comes at a critical time as Nigeria grapples with frequent blackouts, the reliance on private generators for those who can afford them, and an overall energy deficit that hinders economic growth. The plan not only seeks to provide affordable and reliable electricity to the Nigerians, but also to create a more attractive environment for investors looking to tap into the country's energy potential. Nigerian tribunal reserved judgment on Meta WhatsApp appeal against FCPC's 220 million fine. Nigeria's Competition and Consumer Protection Tribunal on Tuesday reserved a ruling and judgment on the case involving WhatsApp and Meta Platforms Incorporated over the $220 million penalty imposed by the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission for alleged discriminatory practices in Nigeria. The tribunal's three-member panel led by Thomas Okosun adjourned the verdict after taking oral arguments from WhatsApp and Meta legal teams led by Professor Bola Elias SAN and the FCCPC legal team represented by Babatunde Irukera SAN, a former executive vice chairman of the commission. Nairametrics previously reported that WhatsApp and Meta Platform Incorporated has appealed to the tribunal, arguing that the FCCPC $220 million penalty should be overturned, citing 22 reasons, including alleged vague directives, unjustifiable data sharing orders, and procedural errors. The appellants claim that the FCCPC's demands were vague, technically impossible to implement within the stipulated time frame, and unsupported by Nigerian law. The fine imposed by the FCCPC followed an investigation into alleged violations of data protection and consumer rights by Meta and WhatsApp. The Commission expressed concern about Meta's allegedly abusive and invasive practices affecting data subjects and consumers in Nigeria. Now let's look at what WhatsApp and the FCC document says. In their appeal, the appellant argued that the FCCPC denied them a fair hearing by imposing an hefty penalty without giving them an opportunity to understand how the penalty will be calculated or to respond to the calculation of the proposed amount. The appellant contended that contrary to FCCPC's compliance order identifying and building a consent mechanism for each data point processed by Nigerian users would be impossible and extremely expensive. However, the FCCPC maintained in its argument that the $220 million penalty was based on its resolve to remedy the company's alleged discriminatory practices rather than impose a financial punishment. The Commission also highlighted its finding, which revealed that Meta engaged in exploitative practices that violated constitutional guarantees by allowing unauthorized access to and misuse of private information. At the resumed proceedings, the FCCPC sought the tribunal's leave to transfer the Commission's entire record within its custody to the panel to support a fair and transparent adjudication of the dispute. A record is a record. It is the only thing that the tribunal needs to work on. The full record does not intend to support any party, FCCPC counsel stated, adding that the record does not present any new evidence or recount events that happened in the past. Elias objected, filing a counter affidavit dated November 8, 2024, opposing the FCCPC's application for complying and an alternative record of appeal. They argued that the so-called alternative record of appeal from the FCCPC merely introduces documents that WhatsApp and Meta team has never seen prior to the filing of the appeal. Elias alleged that the new record was an attempt to alter the nature of the appeal after it has been filed, stressing that such development would undermine transparency. Elias contended that the FCCPC had overstepped its authority by attempting to enforce data protection laws, which according to him fall under the jurisdiction of the Nigeria Data Protection Commission. He argued that the appellants were not given sufficient opportunity to be heard, particularly on how much time would be appropriate to comply with the FCCPC's orders and penalties. The orders themselves do not disclose findings of fact, they are just conclusions, Elias stated, accusing the Commission of misunderstanding how WhatsApp operates. There's no advertising displays on WhatsApp service. WhatsApp does not compile or use user profiles for advertising purposes. The fines are higher than the budgets and revenue of some Nigerian state governments combined, he added, urging the tribunal not to rely on foreign laws that are not applicable in Nigeria. Elias further argued that the Nigerian market is competitive and is no abuse of dominance since users can choose from other providers such as TikTok and Google Meet. In response, Irukera urged the tribunal to uphold the Commission's orders and dismiss the appeal in its entirety. It counters the appellant's claim about foreign precedent, stating that while foreign law is not binding, it is possessive in similar contexts. To say that foreign laws has no play at all is absolutely untrue, he asserted. Irukela also argued that the penalty imposed on Meta and WhatsApp was justified, emphasizing that the Commission finding included evidence of discriminatory practices and disparities in consumer protection between Nigeria and Europe. After hearing submissions from both parties, the tribunal adjourned the case for ruling and judgment with a date to be communicated to all parties in due course. Chinese AI app DeepSeek sparks global tech sell-off, challenges US AI dominance. DeepSeek has unveiled its latest AI model Janus Pro 7B, which it claims outperforms OpenAI, DAL-E3, and Stability AI Stable Diffusion 3 medium in text-to-image generation tasks. This announcement made in a report titled Janus Pro Unified Multimodal Understanding and Generation with Data and Model Scaling highlights the model's advancement in multimodal understanding and generation capabilities. Janus Pro 7B's performance has been validated across multiple benchmarks, showcasing its capabilities in both multimodal understanding and text-to-image generation. On the Gen-Eval leaderboard for text-to-image instruction following tasks, Janus Pro 7B achieved a score of 0.8, surpassed Janus 0.61, OpenAI's DAL 0.67, and Stable Diffusion 3 medium 0.74. Janus Pro 7B achieved a score of 79.2 on the multimodal understanding benchmark MMBench and 0.80 on the Gen-Eval leaderboard, outperforming state-of-the-art unified multimodal models including DAL-E3 and Stable Diffusion 3 medium, DeepSeek stated. The model scored 79.2 on the multimodal understanding benchmark MMBench, significantly outperforming competitors as Janus 69.4, TokenFlow 68.9, and Metamorph 75.2. The Janus Pro 7B model builds on the foundation laid by its predecessor Janus by addressing critical challenges in visual encoding and generation tasks. It incorporates 72 million high-quality synthetic images with real-world data to achieve enhanced image outputs. According to the report, earlier models, including Janus, struggled with the conflict demands of multimodal understanding and generation. To resolve this, Janus Pro introduces the coupled visual encoding, enabling it to excel in both tasks. Janus Pro incorporates improvements across 3 dimensions: training strategies, data, and model size. The report states, adding that the model demonstrates scalability with 2 configurations, 1B and 7B parameters. The original Janus model validated at the 1B parameter scale faced limitations due to its relatively small model capacity and limited training data. This constraint led to suboptimal performance in short prompt image generation and unstable text-to-image output. The report emphasized that these upgrades not only improved the model's text-to-image instruction following performance but also adds instability and scalability, making it a strong contender in the AI-generated imagery space. MTN and CEO confident regulator service quality deadline possible as telcos await green light on new tariff. Carl Toriola, MTN Nigeria Chief Executive Officer, is confident that the telecommunication company will meet the 3-month Nigeria Communication Commission service quality deadline. This is after the NCC tied its 50% tariff hike, improved network quality, improved services and connectivity, including better network quality enhanced customer service and greater coverage. Will now be measured on quality of service, Turiola explained on Tuesday. He noted that the tariff increase will unlock more funds for the telco, which has been battling with high operating costs. While we make 2.4 trillion in revenue, our commissions on sales and operating expenditure takes more than 60% off. He stated that when interest payments on loans, statutory licenses, and other obligations are added, the telco is left with no cash to pay its bills. We spend 120% of what we earn, he said. Outside of these costs, the MTN boss explained that other hidden costs like fiber cuts pegged at 1,000 per month, an economic slump that increased inflation to 34.8% in December 2024, has also exacerbated the telco's cost of operations. Based on our projections, there will be more cash flow, meaning additional funding to expand and provide quality service, redundancy on our network, and better customer experience, Toriola explained. Dinesh Basan, CEO of Airtel Nigeria, also shares Toriola's sentiment, saying the price increase will enable us to continue investing in network infrastructure, expanding coverage, and delivering improved products and services that meets the evolving needs of our customers. Despite its potential to unlock more funding for telcos, industry insiders note that the NCC has yet to approve the new tariff plan despite the announcement of approval. We don't have the price increase in our hands because even though it has been announced and based on Section 108, every single product that you want to increase its price has to go to NCC, be integrated and approved. One source said, noting that telcos expect the regulator to respond this week. The proposed tariff increase will raise the floor price, minimum acceptable price of calls, to 9 naira 6 kobo per minute from 6 naira 40 kobo, the cost of SMS to 6 naira from 4 naira, and the cost of 1 gigabyte of data to 431 naira 25 kobo from 287 naira 50 kobo. The average price of calls will rise to 16 naira 50 kobo per minute from 11 naira, unlocking at least 6.59 trillion naira in revenues and 244.99 billion naira in network investments for telcos. Senate suspend Auditor General's budget events over monetary infrastructure. The Senate, through its Public Account Committee, has issued a stern warning to Professor Nane Barini Zabe, the coordinator of the Hydrocarbon Pollution Remediation Project, IPREP. Was also threatened with a warrant of arrest if he fails to appear before the committee on Tuesday, February 4, 2025. The warning was issued by Aliu Wadada, the committee's chairman, following Professor Zabi's repeated failure to respond to the committee's summons, making the 7th time he has failed to honor their invitation. In November 2023, IPREP disclosed that $360 million has been released for the cleanup of the polluted Ogoni land in the Niger Delta. However, the Senate Public Accounts Committee has raised concern about the project's transparency and accountability. Expressing frustration, Wadada said, the Senate. We go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, News Daily continues.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Welcome back. Nigeria secures $1.1 billion AFDB funds to power 5 million people by 2025, according to President Bola Tinubu. Nigeria President Bola Tinubu has acknowledged securing the $1.1 billion fund for the African Development Bank for the provision of electricity for 5 million people by the end of 2026. Tinubu also stated that the AFDB's $200 million the Nigeria Electrification Project will provide electricity for 500,000 people by the end of 2025. According to Bayo Onanuga, Special Advisor to the President, Information and Strategy, the President made this known in his speech presented by Bayo Adelabu, Minister of Power, at the just concluded two-day Mission 300 Africa Energy Summit in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Tinubu acknowledged AFDB's $1.1 billion expected to provide electricity for 5 million people by the end of 2026, while its $200 million in the Nigeria Electrification Project will provide electricity for 500,000 people by the end of 2025. This is an ambitious goal, but we can achieve it together, Tinubu said. As Nigeria's president, I'm committed to making energy access a top priority. The AFDB, through Kelvin Kariuki, Vice President, Power, Energy, Climate Change and Green Growth Complex, first announced support of Nigeria's power sector worth $1 billion in May 2024 at the 8th Africa Energy Marketplace Forum in Abuja. Kiriki said we'll be shortly seeking broad approval for a $1 billion policy-based operation with a significant energy component. This is aimed at supporting the ongoing power sector reform triggered by the new Electricity Act. The timing of the AEMP and the proposed policy-based lending focused on the energy sector is therefore not coincidental. Meanwhile, the President of Nigeria is also expecting to get a planned $1.2 billion AFDB investment in the Nigeria Desert to Power Program and facility for the Nigeria Green Battery Energy Storage System. That's all for now. Sumtv is a 24-hour TV station. We are live every day. You can follow us on Facebook at Sumtv and on YouTube at Super Media TV. I am Abraham Anajuda. Goodbye.